How do I look?
It's so fierce.
Yeah. Oh God, I might stab you.
Look out, I might tie you up and duct tape you to this chair.
Sounds like last night for me.
If two can keep a secret, if one is dead.
Hey guys, welcome to the Rosewood Report with Joey and Trey. I'm Joey.
And I'm Trey.
And we finally made it.
To 7:10, the darkest night.
Woo!
Alright, you guys, welcome our special Rosewood correspondent, Natalie!
Woo! Studio audience. Before we get to recapping the nothing that happened in this episode, tonight's rapid cocktail of the week is the decapitated daiquiri.
Ooh.
In a decapitated daiquiri, you're gonna have gin, a splash of grapefruit juice, a squeeze of lemon, and then garnished with another piece of lemon over slushy ice. Cheers! So tonight's episode started with Hannah's storyline, which I think is very strange, but I'm here for badass Hannah. I think it's very crazy that she tied him up, duct taped him, got a knife, was like looking at her reflection, being like, I look good, I look crazy, Kill Bill style, all up on him.
She had to get the test results from the lab, so she left him there, and then she got horny and left Noel unattended, thinking...
No. Let's backtrack for a second.
Okay. So Hannah goes to the lab and she
Hannah
sees that she's on the news.
That's
how she calls Mona.
Mm-hmm.
Mona comes over, she's like, you should have told me before you kidnapped someone.
Mm-hmm.
Helps her come up with a story in order to like evade the police. So then she comes back, tells all the liars this lie, and then Caleb is like, I don't believe it. And he like gives this long list of like, you keep old milk and we should be together forever.
Really
and she's
sweet.
like, wait, what'd you say?
He
He's
loves
like,
her unconditionally.
the milk. And he like kisses her like cattle prod bruises while he has like a very distracting bruise on his shoulder, and they don't ever talk about it, and they have sex.
We know that now it was Noel that took the thumb drive from Spencer's. Noel is clearly shady. We still don't really know where he falls in this puzzle, but he's a shady guy.
We know where he falls, on top of that hatchet axe.
What I thought was interesting about Emily and Allison and that story, bringing in Paige, was the fact that like Allison A was becoming bitchy again, and I love like the tension between Allison and Paige. I love that Paige was totally trying to like use this towards her benefit to getting closer with Emily, and I love that Allison called her out on it, even though she had her own like bitchy motives and was like jealous, all while Spencer was like bringing over a plate of like donuts and danishes, and I was just too busy looking at the hot forensics guy.
Yeah, that background actor was given it. Allie reveals that she is pregnant, and it must be Archer Dunhill's baby.
That was a shock. That was the one, like, whoa twist of the show for me. Everything else was like...
Was it like a twist of the knife?
Twist of the knife.
I don't think anyone's gonna watch our episode tonight. It's pretty boring.
We find out that Nicole is in fact alive.
Not boring. That was insane for me.
They literally were pulling her out of a ditch somewhere, and he was there, and they were like covering this love story. Like, that's not how it happens on the news. There's snipers everywhere.
And then the absolute main event of tonight's episode took place at 1465 Elm Street.
What is going on?
Okay, there was
Jenna
like,
is not blind.
Well, I think she was.
That's so stupid. That whole scene was so bad.
And Sydney popping back.
oh my god, Sydney popping back up.
Oh, we already thought you were Jenna 3 seasons. There's nothing that's forwarding the plot with her. So anyway,
Yeah.
Elm Street.
Well, Elm Street, what was kind of funny about this was that as we were watching, I like could sense that Trey and Natalie were like so over it. This is not based in any kind of truth anymore. It's just not.
When the head came off, it was over for me.
It's based in Jenna Blinders.
We found out what we kind of knew already is that Mary Drake is Spencer's mom, but with that reveal,
It was the
honestly
worst.
still wasn't surprising because they were so obviously kind of setting it up. The only reason why Spencer was given those awful bangs to work with is because they matched Mary Drake's awful bangs. The end.
And now a new segment called Pretty Little Quotes.
Wake up, bitch.
And we're just penned up in here like veal.
Are you sure it isn't ketchup from a hot dog or hair from your beard?
I smell your blood.
Cold French fries.
I don't know who bought the house.
It's like Tim Burton's garage sale.
And I'm not buying anything. Now it's time for the final installment of Questions with Natalie.
Where has Mona been this whole time? Can somebody explain how Mona was once dead with a white ghost face in a trunk and then all of a sudden in the dollhouse taking orders from somebody? Who did Noel push down the stairs? Where is Archer Dunhill? Is he alive? Who just falls on an axe and gets decapitated? Why do we still have no answers? Did anyone get the job as coach of Rosewood High? What is the name of this supposed diner that Arya mentions that serves the sugar cream pie? How did Toby and Yvonne get in that car wreck? Who the F is AD?
And now it's time for Ravenswood Riff Raff.
YouTube lover at Motivator1119 says, OMG, that was the worst episode of PLL ever. Sad emoji, sad emoji, sad emoji. Hashtag PLL Death Trap, which was not used. Hashtag PLL Summer Finale, which I don't think was used. Hashtag PLL Day, PLL will live forever. At PLL TV series, she wanted this tweet to be known.
Yeah. Amy Calhoun at ACal6888 says, that may have been the worst PLL episode of all time. Thank God there are only 10 episodes left in this stupid show.
Well, guys, that about wraps up the first half of the final season of Pretty Little Liars as we know it forever. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, shoot us over your theories, your thoughts, your disappointments with this episode, or whether or not you really love the episode. Tweet us at Rosewood Report, or individually at JoeyPatrick87,
at Trey Gerald,
and at Natalie_Weiss.
And until next time, shh.